We're counting down to midnight and a new year. Where will you be?
I'm Cheryl Underwood from The Talk on CBS. Join me as we ring in the new year at First Night Raleigh.
Downtown will be sizzling, and WRAL will be right in the middle of a celebration.
I'm ready to catch the acorn drop with you in Raleigh.
Monday night, starting at 11.
Right here on Raleigh's hometown station, WRAL.
And welcome back. You are looking live from Sky 5 at all of the crowds just piling into Fayetteville Street for the First Night Raleigh celebration in downtown. Organizers expected somewhere close to 100,000 people to be there as the acorn drops at midnight. And WRAL has live coverage of all the festivities underway right now.
Hey, Renee Chi was in the crowd. She'll join us in just a moment to talk about a new ride at this year's event. But first, let's check back with Ken and Cheryl. And guys, I know the excitement is building down there.
It absolutely is. The headlining band Delta Ray on stage right now, and people are just crowding Fayetteville Street. And you know, the centerpieces down here, we talked about that ride that Renee is doing, but one of the other rides that's really popular is a Ferris wheel. A lot of people go on the Ferris wheel.
You know what, Ken? You are so dashing that you would take me on the Ferris wheel. That's so romantic. We just met. This is our first time together. You want to take me on the Ferris wheel?
Oh yeah, let's go on the Ferris wheel.
So
But before we go on the Ferris wheel, we're going to meet the
what
man
I think it's going to mean?
behind the giant Ferris wheel.
Putting together a giant Ferris wheel
which is about 85 feet tall.
in the middle of downtown Raleigh.
Good, Mikey?
And it takes approximately 4 hours.
Les Powers, better known as Corky, is used to it. He owns this giant Ferris wheel that's part of his Great American Midways operation.
It's a portable gondola wheel, and we move it about 30 times a year.
As you might imagine, Powers says the crew's got this portable project down to a science.
You can hear the hydraulics working, and it'll raise all the, what we call the towers. Then we open the wheel up and spread it apart with winches. And then once we get everything spread apart, we're able to put on the gondolas.
This giant Ferris wheel, constructed from the ground up, is a centerpiece of First Night Raleigh. Once the last bolt is fastened and the ride is ready, it's a show in itself.
This particular ride here, there's over 40,000 lights on it. If you watch it at night, it's just, like I say, it has different patterns on it, and it's just, to me, it's gorgeous.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. When you look down Fayetteville Street, you see it, and that Ferris wheel is actually part of the North Carolina State Fair every year.
Really?
And it's still very popular.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, downtown we've had this circus theme going all night, and it's like having a great big party under the big top. Take a look at what we found earlier this evening. Performers from Cirque du Soleil Studios dazzled New Year's Eve revelers on Fayetteville Street. Cirque du Soleil means Circus of Flight. As you can see, this performer is taking flight, demonstrating breathtaking aerial acrobatics moves. Cirque du Soleil performs for entertainment all over the world, and they've been entertaining this crowd down here on Raleigh's First Night celebration. It's been a great time, but you know, we got one more ride to talk about.
Yes, let's go to Renee and that ride she's talking about.
Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Ken. Yes, we'll get to that ride in a moment. I'm still shaking from that ride. But first, I want to talk about the crowds here. It just never ceases to amaze me how many people show up for this event. I mean, just look behind me. These are all the people on Fayetteville Street waiting to get into City Plaza. City Plaza is already packed. Now, every first night, organizers have the challenge to come up with how do you top last year? How do you make it different? How do you make it better? As Ken mentioned, this year is a circus theme, and people got to take in a very eyebrow-singeing performance. Take a look at this. This was one of the street performers that were on Fayetteville Street. Flamethrowers, hula hoops, and fire. This is the first night Cirque du Fire show. Kids, do not try this at home. These are professionals. They're all circus acrobatic performers from Cirque du Soleil Studios in Raleigh. All seasoned professionals in circus industry that have trained and performed all across the world. So that part is new. The circus theme is new. And also new is this ride that takes you 80 feet up in the air and plunges you down. Now, the whole idea behind the jumbo drop is to experience what the acorn drop must feel like.
The jumbo drop concept is simple. Instead of the acorn, it's you that's dropping from 80 feet in the air. It doesn't look so bad from the ground, so I decide to give it a try. Lucky for me, I have 6-year-old Noelle Bettinella beside me to help me through it.
Going up.
Oh, we're going up. We're going up 80 feet in the air. That's really, really high. The slow ascent of anticipation mixed with dread. Oh my gosh, I thought this was a good idea. Okay, we're higher than the building. Ah! Pure adrenaline rush. Ah! Those who conquered it are proud to make it part of their first night experience.
It felt like when you're dropping down and it's going, you're just floating up as it goes down. It's so fun.
Were you scared coming down?
No.
How about me? How did I do on the ride?
You're a little nervousy.
Let me tell you, did Noelle not do a spot-on perfect impression of me? I was freaking out on that ride. 6-year-old Noelle was calm as a cucumber. It was so much fun. I think my stomach is still 80 feet up in the air. So much fun, though, despite the shrinking. I had a blast, and I bet they're going to get the jumbo drop next year. Huge hit for this crowd.
Renee, she called you out on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Was that
absolutely.
your only time?
And I apologize for my shrinking. It probably hurt everybody's ears. But
Everybody would.
Oh, yeah.
Was that your only
it
time,
was 5
Renee?
seconds of sheer fear.
Mm-hmm. Was that the only time you went up?
I did go on it twice.
Okay.
I did go on it twice, yeah. I decided to venture it again, but I tell you.
Which tells
was a
me
blast.
that the second time, or the first time, depending which one it was a little more nerve-wracking for
Yeah,
her. That's why we saw a video of the good one. Renee Chu downtown.
Oh.
We'll check back with Renee as he makes her way toward Ken and Cheryl for the midnight countdown. And we see the acorn drop in just a few minutes.
Yes, and another big party obviously going on right now. The Big Apple, New York City's Times Square.
Yeah, Tori Dunning is there now live. Tori, we know that you have about 1 million people there at Times Square. Give us a sense of the energy that is in place down there in the Big Apple.
Yeah, about 1 million people here. You're exactly right about that. Really packing the streets here. The crowds are getting very, very excited because we're less than a half an hour out at this point from seeing the ball drop and really welcoming the new year. But I want to show you what's happening on stage here. That's Taylor Swift. She's getting ready to sing, so the crowd obviously getting pretty pumped up for that. They've already seen some great musical acts so far. Let's go up and show everyone the ball because that's been the focus. It's been, as I said, just sort of dangling there for hours and hours. People got here about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and they've been waiting and waiting, sort of packed in like sardines because it is sort of a cold, chilly New York night, but everyone's having fun. You know, they're sort of packed in like sardines, but that's also giving them some of the body heat they need to get through and basically count down until the new year. But that's pretty much the latest here from Times Square.
Unbelievable to see how tightly packed all those people are. It is such a great tradition to be there in Times Square. Is this your first time?
It definitely is. I've always wanted to do this, so I guess I picked the right straw, right, with getting the assignment to come out here. But it's definitely neat to see. You know, seeing it in person is far different than watching it on TV. Still the same amount of people and just the same excitement as you really would imagine.
You have a great vantage point.
Oh my goodness, yes. And you know, security is always an issue with events like this. Tori, talk about, I know they have some security measures in place. Is it so much so it's suffocating people there?
No, you know, I think anyone who comes here sort of knows that they're going to be pretty tightly packed. There are barriers up. There are police officers really walking all along back and forth, making sure everyone's safe. They're not allowing alcohol in here, so police are really hoping that helps the situation. You also have more police officers than you could probably even see. Lots of plainclothes officers out there, as well as helicopters, things like that. So everyone seems to be safe and just getting ready to welcome in 2013, which is pretty hard to believe, guys.
Good, as Taylor Swift entertains the crowd. Tori Dunning live in Times Square. Happy New Year. Thanks so much for that live report.
Thanks, Tori. And we have some encouraging news for DirecTV people, if you have DirecTV. We are pleased to announce that Capital Broadcasting and DirecTV have reached a new agreement to keep Capital Broadcasting stations on your satellite without interruption. Of course, Capital Broadcasting owns WRAL and Fox 50, as well as WILM TV in Wilmington. So good news for all of us. We're happy about that.
Yes. Well, coming up in 3 minutes.
This is Cheryl Underwood, WRAL's Acorn correspondent, and we're going to find out what is your New Year's resolution.
Cheryl Underwood is in the crowd, and some of the unusual New Year's resolutions she found out about just ahead.
Our Acorn correspondent, plus a look at New Year's Eve celebrations around the world.
And here's a look at more of your holiday pictures you sent in. We'll be right back.
Here is the best view in town of the first night celebration in downtown Raleigh as we count down to midnight and a brand new year.
So colorful, lots of flash bulbs popping, a lot of things just flashing. It looks awesome. And that is our live look at downtown Raleigh right now. Well, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I'm going to try and eat better.
That's always,
you know, I'm
that's
running out of the
always
house, no breakfast. I'm going to try and eat better. What about you?
Well, mine is always to read more.
Oh, okay.
I can't read enough, even for fun.
I've never heard that as a resolution.
I know, I know. Yeah, well, there you go.
There you go.
I'm unique, I guess, that way. Well, there are a lot of people in downtown Raleigh at First Night Raleigh who made some resolutions to get 2013 kicked off on the right start.
Let's go back to Ken Smith and Cheryl Underwood from The Talk on CBS. And Cheryl, have you heard any good resolutions down there tonight?
Yes, I've heard some doozies.
And you know, it's something that we do all the time.
Yes.
You know, I always think, well, I want to eat better, I want to make better financial decisions, but did you make any?
No, I didn't make any, but I found some. Hey, this is Cheryl Underwood, WRAL's Acorn correspondent. What is your New Year's resolution?
To eat healthier, I think.
These are all people that love the acorn crop, but we need the possum crop too. Yeah. What is your New Year's resolution?
To be more outgoing.
Does Ken Smith look exactly like Wayne Brady?
Sure. Yeah.
You are taking me somewhere where everything is fried.
Right here.
I am happy.
All over.
What is your New Year's resolution?
Be kinder to people.
What is your New Year's resolution?
To make friends, or more friends.
More friends than you have. 3 more than the 3 she has right now. I do solemnly swear to come here every year that I am famous. Is that not the sexiest man in the world?
He's really super sexy.
And of course, that sexist man is none other than our very own Tom Normanley.
Yes. Yes.
And he's having it up for the camera.
Yes.
Easy, boy. Easy. Down, boy. Let's get back to
Too much
work.
sex appeal.
You had a great time out there with them.
I did. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fans here. A lot of people watch the show.
Exactly.
So it's exciting to come.
You know, the talk comes on WRAL at 2 o'clock every afternoon, and the amount of people who've been coming here just looking at it, you can tell people absolutely love you and the ladies on the top.
Yes.
And tell me, that show that you all did without makeup.
Yeah, we need to not do that again.
How much convincing did it take you to do that?
Well, because it was Sarah Gilbert's idea, and we love Sarah. But I need to never do that again. Because people walking up to me today going, Ken, what made you go do the talk? And I'm like, I'm not Ken, I'm Cheryl.
Go on now. Come on now. You were just fine. No makeup at all, you were fine.
Well, let me just tell you, it took a lot of courage. It took a lot of courage, but that's one of the reasons why I love North Carolina. I love coming to Raleigh. I love coming to Fayetteville because I buy all my wigs from Super Beauty World in Fayetteville. And we got a lot of great things that are happening this year with the show. So I just wanted to come out and show my appreciation for what God has blessed me with in 2012, and hopefully he can continue to bless me in 2013.
And you know, the Super Bowl is going to be airing on CBS this year, and the talk is going to be all over New Orleans.
Yes, all of the shows are taping live from, I think it's Jackson Square. It's going to be the news shows, the sports shows, and the ladies of the talk. And we're very excited to be going to New Orleans because the people need us to come there. But it's great to have America's game be played in America. You know, because you know they play in London sometimes. Yeah. But to come to New Orleans. Great food. And I'm telling you, this is the way you started. You started great food here. Y'all got all the powdered sugar on the funnel cake. Now I'm going to go to New Orleans.
Forget about it.
I'm going to eat my way all the way through from here to New Orleans. But it's a lot of fun, and I miss the ladies, and we got Rob, we got great guests coming up in 2013, and we got a lot of great things coming. You and I are going to work on something
Well, there you
that
go.
we're going to announce.
Exactly.
We still got some things coming up for Fort Bragg and the military because we salute our troops because they are serving, and we want to show how much we care about them.
Awesome.
And that's the thing about the talk. Everybody loves it, and you heard it right here, Gerald and Deborah.
Yeah, Cheryl, I have a question for you. You've experienced a lot in the couple of days you've been here. Is there a lasting image or memory do you think you'll take with you when you leave Raleigh?
Well, I can tell you that it's the look of the children's face when we saw the children drop. The fireworks. I mean, this is great. This is just great for all of us to be together. And there's so much hope and optimism. Even though things are going on politically, this is the happiest place on earth right now.
And you know, guys, she said she is coming back every year. She's
every
home.
year.
Our Acorn correspondent, yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Every year
as
our
and I'm
Acorn
bring a
correspondent.
gift every time I come. I'm going to bring a gift every time I come.
Aww.
Yeah, and you know what you're going to have to do is wear an acorn hat when you come back next time.
I got some special acorn earrings.
Yes.
I'm going to chop up the acorn, put it on cake. It's going to be acorn spice cake.
All right, Cheryl,
Thanks,
We're all
Ken.
invited for dinner.
We've got the acorn drop in about 11 minutes, guys. We'll let you all get ready for that, and we'll get back to you in just a few.
It's coming up quickly.
All right.
And still to come, parts of the world have already begun the new year. We'll show you some of those celebrations.
And plus, millions are packing New York's Times Square to watch the ball drop. We'll bring it to you live, along with the acorn drop here in Raleigh at midnight.
And as we head into the break, check out these pictures you have sent into us. Look at the little ones, their first Christmas. These are some fun ones, sure to make you smile. We'll be right back.
Back now on WRAL from Sky 5, you're looking down at the first night Raleigh celebration. 100,000 or so down there in downtown Raleigh to ring in the new year. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, it is. And now we take it to New York, where 1 million people are packed into Times Square for this time-honored tradition. The crystal ball will drop at midnight, just less than 8 minutes away now.
That's some hat, and there's the crystal ball. You know, people around the world have been ushering in 2013 and with hopes of a better year ahead. Here's a look at an impressive fireworks display. In New Zealand, the celebrations were held at the city's Sky Tower.
And here is a spectacular New Year celebration in Sydney, Australia. You can see the beautiful fireworks display lighting up the sky over Sydney Harbor. Absolutely gorgeous.
Another stunning display of the New Year celebration, Hong Kong. Tens of thousands watched as fireworks splashed above the city's Victoria Harbor once the clock struck midnight there. It's said to be the biggest New Year's display ever in the southern Chinese city.
It is beautiful. In Russia, Moscow's iconic Red Square was filled with spectators as fireworks exploded near the Kremlin. President Vladimir Putin stayed optimistic in his New Year's Eve address with a positive message following a turbulent year.
Pope Benedict celebrated New Year's Eve with a Vespers service in St. Peter's Basilica. The Pope offered prayers of hope and inspiration at his end-of-year Mass in the Vatican City. Pope Benedict said, despite all the injustice in the world, goodness prevails.
And check out the New Year celebrations in Germany. More than 1 million people gathered to watch this fireworks display at Berlin's Brandenburg Gate. And one of the highlights, a flash mob with revelers dancing Gangnam Style.
Oh, there you go. You knew that was had to happen somewhere. And revelers flocked to the Eiffel Tower in Paris. The iconic Parisian landmark sparkled at the stroke of midnight. Tourists and locals cracked open bottles of bubbly on the banks of the River Seine.
Wow, look at the Eiffel Tower. They're so pretty. Fireworks were set off by the London Eye on the south bank of the River Thames after Big Ben chimed in the new year. People cheered as the landmarks were bathed in the light of the display.
And we have some big news to report here. We are pleased to tell you that Capital Broadcasting and DirecTV have reached a new agreement to keep Capital Broadcasting stations on your satellite service without interruption. Capital owns WRAL, Fox 50, as well as WILM in Wilmington. And just a few minutes left before we say goodbye to 2012, Deb.
Yes, less than about 5 minutes now.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's going so fast. We're going to take you live to New York's Times Square for the ball drop. And of course, we will watch the acorn drop live right here in downtown Raleigh.
We are less than 4 minutes away from midnight, the annual Acorn Drop here in downtown Raleigh, and of course, 2013.
What a sight from Sky 5. You are looking live. Look at all the people just jam-packed onto Fayetteville Street. We're going to head right now to Ken Smith, Renee Chu, and Cheryl Underwood from The Talk. They are in the midst of all that excitement.
All right, Gerald and Deborah, cheers.
Cheers.
We're about to ring in.
Hold on.
Where's ours?
We broke out the bubbling.
Absolutely.
Nothing
Only
but
the
the
good
best
stuff
for
for Ken.
Cheryl.
Only the
Martinelli
No
sparkling
expensive
cider. Oh, yeah.
And you know what? We've got 2 minutes and 49 seconds left before we ring in 2013. And we've got you hooked.
Yes, I am coming back every year. Every year we're going to be together.
Now, Cheryl, you have spent New Year's in many places,
Absolutely.
but you're telling us this is the best New Year's ever.
It's the
for
best.
you.
It's the most fun. I've done Times Square. I've done Las Vegas. I've done gigs in Detroit, and this is just a different feeling. It's a different feeling. And to be in Fayetteville Street, to be in Raleigh, this is the best place in the world. Nothing can top. Only thing can top this is possibly if Ken gets on one knee.
Oh, my.
Oh. Keep the champagne flowing.
Your wedding in 2014.
Yes.
I don't know.
Hey, Cheryl.
So, yeah, guys,
Yes.
I'm wondering, I mean, the organizers were expecting close to 100,000 people down there. Does it seem like that many people are there?
It really does. It
Doesn't
really
it?
does.
It
We
seems
are
like it's
watching
a
people
million
from here
people.
where we are,
Yes.
all the way up to the Capitol. It runs the entire length of Fayetteville Street. Every inch of this street has somebody standing in it.
And Ken, you have to wonder if part of the boost comes from having Cheryl here.
No, I
with
think
us.
part of the boost is all of us being together.
Huge
But compared
fan
to
base
other
here, no
years,
question.
this is a big turnout, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's my first.
Hey, Cheryl.
So compared to other years.
Cheryl, you say this is your best New Year's Eve celebration. What makes it so good for you? Why is this so special?
Well, because everybody has been so nice, from the crew, the cameramen, the hotel people, to be with Renee and Ken, and everybody here. People have walked up and hugged me. They've let me hold their babies. I mean, this is just fantastic. I mean, and I want to come back every year because it feels like home. It feels like someplace I can call home.
I gotta tell you, everywhere we walk, we cannot get here anywhere in 5 minutes. It takes at least a
Crowds
half hour
everywhere,
because
all
so
wanting
many
to take pictures
are
with
coming
Cheryl.
up to her.
We are less than a minute away, guys. I can
Less
hear
than a
people
minute
starting
away.
to cheer.
They are cheering and
this
they're
is
getting ready
great.
for the fireworks in just a minute.
Is
And
the
we're gonna start
acorn
counting
moving?
down in about 40 seconds.
I'm nervous.
It's
all
positioned,
the way
it's ready
up
to
in the air
go.
right now, and it's ready to come down in a little while. We've got about 30 seconds left before the new year comes in. Where did 2012 go, guys?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
The acorn is on the descent.
The acorn
Oh,
is on the
it's up
move,
in the
y'all.
sky.
It's on the move.
I'm so excited.
With 20 seconds left, we are about to
Wait a
ring
minute,
in
you need to stand next to
2013.
Ken. Because
This
don't
is how
y'all have
Raleigh
the kids
does it,
in the new
Cheryl.
year.
15.
Absolutely.
Happy
Here we
New
go.
Year.
Let's start the countdown.
A few more seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
I see.
We are watching live
Yeah.
pictures from New York as well as downtown Raleigh. Look at those fireworks.
Our viewers at home are seeing a very personal New Year's Eve celebration. People there just enjoying themselves in Times Square. We know they're enjoying themselves on Fayetteville Street in Raleigh. Isn't that fabulous? Wow, this is a wonderful perspective too. Sky 5. I tell
Watching
you.
the fireworks. What are you all seeing there in downtown Raleigh? You seeing a lot of hugging and kissing and maybe some proposals?
Well, we're seeing a lot of people hugging, embracing.
A lot of hugging.
A lot of couples kissing each other because this
There's a lot
is
of
very
families
special
here
time.
too. A lot of families here.
A lot of families here, and they're all
And a lot of
embracing.
smartphones out.
Yes.
Everyone's
And I'm
taking
even seeing
pictures
some
of the
tears
fireworks.
of joy. People are just happy to be with
Just
family and
happy.
be with their loved ones at this
That's
time
right.
of year. It's a very special moment down here.
It's young and old. It's different races coming together. This is the best way to start 2013.
Exactly.
Now, Cheryl, are you going to share this experience on the next episode of The Talk?
Absolutely. On January 2nd, we will be going live, and I will be shouting out what I did, what I saw, and where I was.
All right.
This kisses, and I'm going to cry, but I don't want my eyelash to fall.
That's how much fun she's been having all night. I mean, people have absolutely been embracing her, loving her. Everywhere she went tonight, people were just crowding around her, just wanted to get a piece of Cheryl Underwood because she's just one of the kindest people we've met.
Well,
I'm going to cry. This is great.
It is. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a wonderful way to say hello to 2013. And we want to wish everybody a very happy new year. This has just been a great way to celebrate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And thank you guys for letting me celebrate this with you.
Oh, thank you for being here. It's been a very special
Cheryl, you made it
event for
so
all of us.
special. It's been fantastic.
Look, all the people are waving
It's
at
been
us.
a wonderful night, all night long, and she's actually shedding some
got
tears of
tissues.
joy.
Okay,
We gotta watch those eyelashes.
Hold those eyelashes in. Well, Cheryl, you said that you don't normally make a resolution. Have you had a chance to think of anything you might have as a New Year's resolution?
Well, I'm going to try to be a better person. I'm going to try to bless other people as God has blessed me. I have a really, really great life. And this is just so fantastic that I get to be with you guys.
Well, we are so happy to
I'm
have
sorry
you
to be
with
to
us.
cry, but that's going to be my resolution. And to come back here next year, and we're going to have even more fun.
Well, we didn't mean to make you cry.
Okay, these are tears of happiness. I mean, this is great.
Tears of joy as we bring in 2013. As always, it's always our pleasure to share this moment with all of you all year round. Thank you for watching WRAL.
Oh, yes. And guys, we're also showing what it looks like in New York City. And look at all these pieces of paper coming down, the confetti. A live report from New York told us earlier that there are some messages on some of those pieces of paper, especially as that area recovers from Hurricane Sandy and all of the difficulties they've had there. And so it's quite a lovely sight to see
Mayor
what's
Bloomberg
happening.
right there with the American flag on his shirt there. Yes, it is. You know, it's a very patriotic time for all of us, too.
It is, and we're seeing lots of families, like you all said, too, a lot of families in New York City as well as Raleigh. This is a great time to just hug your family just a little tighter.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
This is our family.
It's the best home in the world. And to be part of the WRAL family.
Yes, and you're a part of us now, Cheryl.
Thanks, Steve.
Well, let me ask.
Permanent member.
Well, let me ask Renee and Ken. Cheryl told us what she's going to do in the new year. How about you guys? Anything you thought of?
Renee, you go ahead.
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I am going to try to do something nice, a good deed every week. You know, whether it's just a kind word, a kind act, or, you know, just touch base with someone I haven't talked to in years. I mean, I just want to do something nice for someone else once a week.
Very nice.
And you know, that's absolutely the way to do it, because I was listening to someone the other day, and they said, it's better to be nice and kind than to be shameful and shame others.
That's
and
right.
what a great way to ring in 2013.
That's right.
I'm with you.
Talk to everybody like you're talking to Jesus, and you can't go wrong. But I got to say this. I got to thank Nisa Green and Harry Sutherland. Harry Sutherland is my road manager. Nisa Green is my hair and makeup, and they left their families to come here with me. And this is just phenomenal. And then, wait a minute, can we talk about your parents in a minute?
Well, we got to wrap it up, guys.
It's a great story.
We've got to go, but
wrap
listen,
it up.
Cheryl, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you
thank you all for
Renee,
being part of our
Ken,
celebration.
great job. And
Yes,
Happy
it
New
is.
Year, everybody.
And have a safe New Year's Eve, or New Year's
Absolutely.
night now.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.